Calvary greetings in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. You're welcome to Deliverance Moment with Pastor Andrew. In our first installment on victory over witchcraft, we had established the fact that to overcome witchcraft is to overcome principalities, powers, rulers, and spiritual wickedness in high places. We established the fact that witchcraft operates at the lowest rung in this satanic pyramid. They operate at the level of spiritual wickedness in high places. We said the activities of spiritual wickedness in high places is summed up in witchcraft. We established the fact that witchcraft is the forerunner, is the pathfinder to all satanic activities on earth. We said they paved the way for every other satanic activity to take place on earth. That's why we are confronted with the activities, everywhere, daily. Satan cannot attack you without a legal ground. There has to be a legal ground for Satan to attack. Meaning that witches cannot attack anybody without a legal ground or point of contact. There has to be one that will provide the platform on which Satan and his cohort will stand upon to attack, to oppress, to carry out their evil works against you. In most cases, in a family, there has to be a representative of the dark kingdom, before Satan and his cohort can operate in that family freely. There has to be a representative. That representative may just be one person, but that one person provides the legal ground, the point of contact. If, for instance, you have anybody in your family who is involved with occultism, charms and amulets, divination, sorcery, a medium, a psychic, one that is involved in magic and activities, satanic activities in one way or the other. It becomes the legal ground through which Satan and his cohort will operate in that family freely. One of the things they try to do is to manipulate you into saying or doing or going to a place that will implicate you in the spirit. Remember, we said manipulation, control, and domination are the main features of witchcraft operations. And so they seek to manipulate people to places, manipulate you to say some things, manipulate you to visit certain places. For instance, some people unknowingly get entrapped into witchcraft, entrapped into establishing point of contact or legal grounds unknowingly. Maybe you are sick, and in the course of finding solution to that sickness, either to know why you are sick or to seek healing, you visit native doctors, diviners, all these prayer houses, psychics, mediums, soothsayers. In the course of doing that, unknown to you, sometimes they make incision marks. They insist on making incision marks, or they make incision marks and your blood, a little of your blood is taken, concussions are made, and pronouncements are made, and you might get healed immediately. But what you don't know is that you have just been implicated and programmed for future attacks. A legal ground has been established. Or it may, in other cases, you are faced with a challenge and you're looking for a solution, maybe a delayed childbirth or delay in marriage or poverty, and then you go to consult all these people. In the course of once you consult these people, You have opened yourself up. Covenant are established, providing the legal ground that the enemy needs to operate freely, unhindered. Sometimes what they do after this legal ground or point of contact are established, they move further to place identification marks on their victims. And when once these identification marks are placed on an individual, it doesn't matter where you go on the surface of the earth, you are a victim. These marks are spiritual marks, they're not physical, so you can't see them, but wherever you go, the local witches will identify you as a victim for oppression, and then they will continue the attack. Whether you are in Africa, in Europe, in America, in Asia, it doesn't matter. For as long as you are on the surface of the earth, the local witches will identify you as a victim. Sometimes legal grounds are established by them taking items from you. Sometimes you give people money. If it's a witchcraft agent, you give them money. They use your money as a point of contact, but the money came from you. They take your money to their altars, to their covens, and with that money they invoke you. They can drain your business. They can afflict you. Now, this is not to say we shouldn't do good, but it just means that we should be sensitive in doing good. Sometimes they take items of your clothing, different things. Sometimes some of us, when we were born, our parents ignorantly observing tradition took our umbilical cord and buried them before deities and made pronouncement, not knowing that they have just dedicated and covenanted you to that deity. And sometimes in future, this provides a legal ground, a contact point for witches to operate in your life freely. You discover that whenever witchcraft is mentioned in the Bible, familiar spirit follows suit. Why? Because there's a correlation between familiar spirit and witchcraft. You find in many places where witchcraft is mentioned, familiar spirit is mentioned. Leviticus 20, 27, Deuteronomy 18, verse 10 to 11, and other scriptures, they follow. Why? Because familiar spirits are familiar with you. They know your history. They know your foundation. They know your ancestry. And so they are able to dig, to find a point of contact in your ancestry where they can stand upon to launch attack against your family, against you as a person. Because if they can find a link in your family, maybe your ancestors were involved in wholesale idolatry, they were psychics, or they were diviners, or they were involved in occultism, they find a point where they can relate. From there they begin to launch attacks. Also, sexual relations. So many people think that sex is just physical. No. It's deeper than that. The Bible puts it this way in 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 15 to 18, that when a man have sexual relations, so when a man is involved in sex, that his spirit, soul, and body are involved. There is a transference of spirit, there is a fusion. Soul ties are formed, spirits are transferred. And oftentimes, you discover that the people who operate marine witchcraft, people from the marine kingdom, they come with a heavy dose of seducing spirits to seduce hapless, men and women into sexual relations so that they can bewitch them, create a point of contact for further attack. Notice in Numbers chapter 22 and Numbers 23, Balak hired Balaam to come and cause Israel to come and cast a spell on Israel so that he can destroy them. And Balaam tried from different altars every attempt he made was futile. He couldn't cause Israel, he couldn't cast a spell on them. Why? Because God was their protection. The Almighty was their protection. But come down to verse chapter 25 of Numbers. When Balaam advised Balak, he said the only way you can get them is to make them sleep with your women. That the moment they begin to sleep with your women, they'll be joined to your gods. And then you can destroy them. And that's exactly what happened. In one night, 2,400 Israelis, God's people, were destroyed because of sexual immorality. In Canaan, then, they had the Baal and Ashtaroth, who were reputed to be the god of fertility. Sex was part of the worship of this god. Those who came to consult with these deities will have to have sex. They were temple prostitutes, like Rahab. And so, like I said, all they are trying to do is to implicate you, is to create a point of contact, is to create a legal ground that they can stand upon to perpetrate their evil act. By this, so many people are going through untold hardship, bondage, all manner of attacks, death, untimely death, barrenness, incurable sicknesses, all manner of attacks. And they called the story of a young girl, a young lady, she came to me for deliverance, and after ministering to her, she came again and again and again, and she wasn't delivered. And I was worried. And one night I slept, and in a vision of the night, God played a video of her life before me. In that video, I saw when she was like 6-7 years old, a house help that the parents contracted to take care of her while they went to work, initiated her, gave her some things to eat. And she ate that thing, and then she became a member she became a witch, unknown to the parents. And now she began to see herself in meetings, in strange places, until she grew up. And she's been going through one misfortune or the other. She's gone through university, but she couldn't graduate. And at this time, that's when she came. But the house help who initiated her threatened her never to tell anybody that the day she opened her mouth, she would die. And she had grown with this fear. Even when she had given her life to Jesus Christ, she still could not tell anybody. And so when I watched this video of her life, I waited for her. When she came the next time, I confronted her, and she began to cry. And she then opened up and told me exactly what God has showed me. And I ministered to her, and she was delivered. A lot of people are in bondage because of what they eat. I don't know why a believer will not pray over what you eat. You don't know where that food is coming from. We live in a world, a world that the enemy is working tirelessly, looking for whom to devour. That's why the Bible said we should not be ignorant of his devices, so that he will not take advantage of us. And so, if by any means you sense you are under witchcraft attack in any way, I want to let you know that the Bible said in 1 John 3:8 that for this purpose the Son of God was made manifest, that he might destroy the works of the devil. The devil, Satan, is a defeated foe. Satan is a defeated foe. And therefore, you need not be afraid, you need not be concerned. In Isaiah 49, verse 24 down to 26, the Bible talks about the fact that even if you are a legal captive, you will be delivered, because God will contend with Satan and his cohort. And so, we'll continue, we'll begin to be specific as we progress now to look at other forms of manipulation to entrap us and to destroy mankind. We'll be looking at the subject of spiritual husband and spiritual wife. We'll be looking at manipulations through dreams. We'll be looking at curses and stuff like that. At the end of this, then we'll now show you how to know when you are under witchcraft attack and how to break the power of witchcraft. But I want to let you know that no witchcraft can successfully work against a child of God who knows who he is in Christ. God bless you for listening. And if this broadcast has been a blessing to you, please subscribe, like, and share.